That is what Elder Mutemi was reminding me. But I did want to say that the stories that have been shared and put in that booklet are not just words. They represent the struggles, thoughts, pains of the people living in diaspora and the challenges they go through, from epistemological justice within the academia, those Africans who are working in other countries, to the Brazilians living in the Afro-Brazilians living in the favelas, and even the Mexican. All of those stories will not be heard if we're not going to share them. So it is my hope and trust and my prayer that we will take this and share. Stories are powerful but they can only be powerful if they are shared by ourselves. If you are from diaspora, you are standing on the very shoulders and even space, and you're holding the space for people who shared their stories. And in one of the when we were thinking about the whole diaspora series, then initially we were thinking about just challenges. But along the way, then we did realize that there are quite some positive attributes. But despite the fact that the challenges that they faced were probably different from what Africans in the continent face, we needed a common narrative that will unify us all. Because how do we identify as Africans? So my call to you and my plea to you is that we are going to take these stories and honor them and tell them in our own lenses, and we're not going to wait for somebody else to tell the stories but ourselves, that you're going to help to amplify their voices by sharing in your platforms, and potentially even, I don't know, maybe even doing something bigger than what we have done. We would have loved to do all the Black people in the diaspora, but we could only manage to do 10 units. I think it was Colombia, Mexico, Brazil, uh, USA, yeah. So we did a segment of those countries, but we know that there are many Black communities, Black people, people of African descent living there. And then it is not just about the sharing, but also the cross learning and unlearning and the culture. Most of us within the continent may not really be familiar to the lived realities that they face on a day-to-day basis. And when you think about the whole conversation on reparation, then we do realize that it is such a big elephant that we must begin to cut it from somewhere. But when we cut it with different tools, if somebody else comes with a panga and another person comes with a knife, we might not be able to cut it. But if we had something else that is bigger, let's say like a hacksaw, we will be able to slay the elephant. So in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say is that unless we are unified within this, then the conversation about reparation will always be increased every decade, because the African Union declared this year for reparations, and another year it will be declared, but we'll never be able to do that unless we unpack what does this reparation really mean to us as Africans in the continent. And I say this with all humility to acknowledge that the lived realities in terms of reparation in South Africa, for example, on apartheid, may not be what is there. But one underlying factor is the indecency, is the degradation, is the inhumanity that all that we face as Africans, even beyond physicalness, even in emotional, it's the trauma, it's the collective trauma. And so we must really be united in our voices. I would like to stop here and call our movement coordinator Hadi to actually do for us a closing, and then we will declare this forum officially closed. Let me be the government person today and say what they usually say. We declare this. Yeah, Hadi, please. A round of applause. Applaudissez, s'il vous plaît. Stand here. Oh, sorry. Stopping for the laptop. How is it good?
Just give it to him. It's fine. Machine here. I would like to start off by inviting our Attorney General of the movement, who is temporarily also the what's the name that they use? The Minister of Finance, to tell us how much do we have in the coffers of for the sake of transparency. transparency, hey, I went to a village school, so forgive me. For the sake of transparency, to let us know how much do we have in the kitty.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members of Parliament, honorables, I'm here to present the revenue gained so far. We realized money from 7 currencies. That's the CFA, the Euro, the Burundian franc, Ethiopian birr, Ghanaian cedi, Kenya shilling, and the US dollar. Altogether, came up to an amount worth 501 US dollars. And the Minister of Timekeeping fined a number of people for being late. And we collected other revenues from elsewhere. So an additional 630 Ethiopian birr was realized, but that was before the parliamentary session began, so I had not captured that. But it's 501.43 US dollars, as well as 630 Ethiopian birr. Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, so that is how much we have in the kitty. I'm very excited about it. It's just the beginning. I think there is real work to be done after here to set up the framework for the fund in terms of how do we collect from multiple currencies, where do we put it, how do we account for it, because accountability is important, how do we maintain transparency, and how do we even allocate to various initiatives and ideas that we'll do on borderless Africa across the continent. Moving on from there, allow me to thank my team. Please come up here. Anne Osamba, Eunice Adjambo, Maurice Samba. Maurice, come. Kimani, come. Emmanuel.
Maurice, there are many photographers in this.
Maurice, come. He doesn't like showing in the camera. No. Yes, thank you very much for all the hard work in putting this together and bringing all of us together. And for all the late nights and everything. Units for all the intellectual, putting us in. She's like the madam, yeah. So yeah, thank you so much. And Maurice for the computers. Maurice, Kimani, and Emmanuel for the computers and the messages out there and all. So thank you very much for all the hard work. Yes. Let me also thank Crescendo, Joyce, and Ziada. Where is Ziada? It's a two woman army. I'm sure they have a team, but I only know 2 women, and I've grown to learn from working with them and all these amazing women that in Africa, a 2-woman army is more than a national army. Trust me. So thank you so much for all the coordination and for reaching out and bringing all these people together. And we hope to do more together. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm supposed to um, give a speech that will close us off, and I'm told we are being um, we are being told that time is up. Please, we should be rest assured that we cannot be rushed out of here. We paid for this place for a full day, and tell them I said so. And please, unless they want to give us back some of the money.
No, I think the time is okay.
Yeah.
Just for the purposes of the restaurant, because they open it for at 4:30 for the family.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so we are good.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Because I was ready to fight, huh? I know. We are not all that nice this time. We were told yesterday we were very nice, and it was one of the things that you are always accommodating, and then we're taking advantage of part of the story. That is it. I also want to thank our moderator for the 2 days. Who has carried us with energy, with zeal, and with commitment. Thank you so much, Ngesa. Thank you for making the time, and thank you for carrying us for 2 whole days. We are very grateful. If it was in an activist setting, I would have said, Viva Ngesa, viva! Viva Ngesa, viva! Okay. So, brothers and sisters, and before I just go in, I'd like to acknowledge my elder brother, Rocky Dawuni, who is a very busy man. He was supposed to be in Barbados, and I saw Wadimaya yesterday asking him on video, where is Rocky? People are asking, where is Rocky? Where is Rocky? Um, but he chose to come here instead, because not because we wouldn't say we wouldn't put hierarchies of importance to say that we want to say this is more important than what the others are doing. But it shows the commitment that he attaches to this idea of African unity and borderless Africa. And I think he is a happy man, because this is something that he's been fighting for a long time. And now seeing young people taking it up. I'm not in his shoes, but I can say that he should be a happy man. Because if he were to hang his boots today, he would be rest assured that other people have already taken the baton and are moving with it. So thank you so much for all the work. Thank you for inspiring us. Thank you for paving the way with music, with positive and conscious art and cultural advocacy for united borderless Africa. Of course, I have people here who are my bosses, who pretend to be my colleagues. Mutemi Wakiyama at the back. And there's Karamaji, Adam. Nana is also here. So thank you all very much for coming. Today is 15th November 2025. 141 years ago, 15th November 1884, some arrogant people who were also thieves gathered around a table far away from the land of Africa. And their interest was to carve up the African continent amongst themselves. Why did they need to carve out the African continent amongst themselves? It's because they were fighting amongst themselves regarding who should own which piece of the continent. Therefore, the best way to resolve that was for them to formally agree to carve out the continent amongst themselves. But that is not where history began. We must remember that that is not where African history began. So part of our story is to tell ourselves, how did we used to live before the Berlin process? Part of the story is to inform ourselves was the African identity before the Berlin Conference. I think it is important for us to remind ourselves that this was not where history began or history of Africa started. And I'll tell a little story about two people that I work with. Two people. One is called Maurice Samba, who is here. Another is called Usman Sar. He's not here. They belong to an ethnic group called the Serer. It is a West African ethnic group which formed a kingdom around a particular stretch of land that we fondly called Senegambia. They speak the same language. They have a similar heritage, similar cultures. But, and they had a geography, territory. It's called the Saloum. Saloum. If you go to Gambia or Senegal, you can, yes. OUM, Saloum. Then the colonialists, what did they do? They divided, when they did the line, it divided Saloum into two. So a harmonious kingdom of people sharing the same culture then became the two Saloums. So we have now Senegal Saloum and Gambia Saloum. But it is the same people. I tell you the story of the Ewe people of, again, West Africa, who were divided between Togo and Ghana. We went to the Aflao border for a borderless Africa football match. And we brought Africans from Togo to play a football match with Africans from Ghana. And yes, they played a football match. I think the Togolese team won the match, but that's not the point. The point is, after the match, we brought the two captains from each team together. Incidentally, both of them were called Enam. Enam is an Ewe ethnic name. When the Enam from Togo would speak French, the Enam from Ghana would not understand. When the Enam from Ghana would speak English, the Enam from Togo would also not understand. But when both of them speak Ewe, they communicate with each other across the border. So it tells a story. These people used to live amongst themselves. They were just Ewes, Africans. But the borders came, made them Ghanaians, made them Togolese, French speakers versus English speakers, Ghana cedis versus CFA franc, all manner of things. I am telling this story to highlight that when we talk about borderless Africa, we're not just talking about the lines on the map. We are not talking about lines on a map. We are talking about Kenya shillings, Tanzania shillings, Ugandan shillings, but all these shillings are useless in each other's country. Let me repeat that. If you take Kenyan shillings to Uganda, you cannot spend it. If you take Ugandan shillings to Tanzania, you cannot spend it. If you take Tanzania shillings to Kenya, you cannot spend it. You take Malawian kwacha to Zambia, you cannot spend it. You take Zambian kwacha to Malawi, you cannot spend it. Both currencies are called the kwacha, but none of them is useful in each other's country. What is interesting is that the United States dollar is very much useful in all these places. And we complain that there's pressure on our currencies and we are having inflation and all of those things. When we talk about borderless Africa, we are talking about the fact that we as a generation can no longer tolerate a situation where young people in school in Senegal cannot easily transfer to another school in South Africa or in Malawi or indeed in Kenya without having to go through excruciating restrictions and various remaking of themselves. In most cases, it becomes totally impossible because there is no harmonization of educational systems. We are sending a message that we no longer want to accept a situation where young entrepreneurs who live in Ghana but want to do business across East Africa in, let's say, Kampala, are not able to transfer money from MTN mobile money in Ghana to MTN mobile money in Kampala. We are sending a message that we no longer want to accept the situation where when I arrive at the border, at an African border, with a white European or American, they have more access to enter that African country than I do. We are sending a message loud and clear that we no longer want to accept the situation where when an African is displaced by war or crisis in one part of Africa, and they seek refuge in a neighboring African country, they are referred as refugees. No. We must change our language. An African cannot be a refugee in Africa. It's impossible. An African cannot be a foreigner in Africa. And we are sending the message loud and clear that we no longer want to accept the situation where our resources, our minerals, our oil, our diamonds, our manganese are carted away in value by multinational companies owned by Americans or Europeans or Asians, whilst we fight amongst ourselves for the crumbs. Whilst fellow Africans in South Africa will chase down fellow Africans living in South Africa, but with roots in Ethiopia or Tanzania, because they feel they are taking their jobs. We no longer want to accept a situation where we have vast amounts of resources in Africa, whilst our presidents are masters in begging. We no longer want to accept the situation that a cut in funding by US aid means the death of millions of people in Africa. We no longer want to accept the situation 141 years after Berlin Conference that African people have to pay dollars to come to Ethiopia, which is the headquarters of the African Union. We no longer want to accept the situation where fellow Africans who want to go and see the grave of Kwame Nkrumah in Accra have to pay 200 United States dollars to access visa on arrival. We no longer want to accept the situation where in the abundance of water we are thirsty, where even though we have massive arable land, we are said to be poor and hungry. Africa is not poor. It is Africans who are poor. And we are poor not because we are lazy. We are poor because of years and centuries of exploitation, both by external and unfortunately currently by both external and our own internal indigenous colonialists. So when we talk about borderless Africa, it is not a distant dream. It is also not an abstract concept. It's a concept, it is a dream that speaks to us. It is a dream that allows us to reclaim our Africanness. We've gathered here for 2 days in the same city that Kwame Nkrumah and his colleagues sat in 1963. So this meeting is a historic meeting, and we recognize that. But as I said, it is no longer fashionable, or it is no longer acceptable for us as Africans, both our leaders and our people, to continue to complain about Berlin Conference. I didn't say remember, because we must remember our history. But to complain about Berlin Conference whilst we have the power in our hands to undo what the Berlin Conference did 141 years later, it is unacceptable. Borderless Africa is within our power to do without waiting for permission from anyone. One of the elders likes to ask the question that why is it that 13 men sat in Berlin to do something that 54 men, 50, I think 52 men and 2 women are unable to do and do. So let us ask ourselves, when we say we are borderless Africans, that we are asking for things that we shouldn't even be asking for, things that should be a given. So I like to end by asking ourselves, what do we do after living here? We must, as we have talked about, begin to localize the campaign. So we need to look at the local context and ask ourselves, what can we do? So when we analyze the local context in Ghana, as I said, there is a $200 visa fee for visa on arrival. I feel ashamed to talk about it, but when we go back to Accra, it is something that we are going to take up. That is an example of localizing the campaign. So Ghana has signed the African Union Protocol on Free Movement, but has not ratified it. So our campaign is for removal of the $200, but also ratification of the Free Movement Protocol. That is the local context I'm talking about. In Kenya, there is a visa-free movement already that has been declared. But Kenya has also not yet signed the ratified the Free Movement Protocol. So the local campaign in Kenya, that is the target. In the Gambia, the government has also removed visa for all Africans traveling there. However, the Gambia has also not ratified the Free Movement Protocol. So the local campaign in Gambia has its target also cut out. When we leave here, we will be working to create the framework for the Borderless Africa Fund with all the legal and whatever issues, to set up the mechanisms for collection, accountability, auditing, and all of transparency and all of those issues, so that we do not have to write proposals for funding from external sources to fund our own liberation and unification. Africans must fund our own liberation and unification. There was an idea that was raised by my brother who is just stepping out now. He didn't know I was going to talk about him. He mooted an idea of forming what he called Entrepreneurs for Borderless Africa, which I think is a brilliant idea to connect entrepreneurs, African entrepreneurs across the continent who are defying the borders and doing business across. So it is something that we also have to think about after here. And in that light, finally, is it also a good idea to think about influencers for borderless Africa? Is it a good idea? Is it a good idea? I'm not getting the energy. Yes. Okay. So hopefully I see that there's interest, and then some of us are also not interested. So that is fine. We can mute it, and then we see if people would be interested in. Okay, would be interested in forming that. So these are the things that we are taking away. I want to thank everybody for making the time to come to Addis Ababa. I hope you've had good time. Please, we still have some time, so make sure to roam around the city and enjoy yourselves. In ending, I have the honor to now invite my big brother Rocky to do the closing performance. Yeah? All right.
Thank you, Rocky. Allow me, fellow Africans, to thank the AGA APSA, which is the African Governance Architecture, which is part of the Political Affairs and PAPS at the African Union, on who we collaboratively delivered this particular convening, and who really supported us to be at the African Union yesterday, and all the other departments, representatives of the African Unions that are present and are absent, silencing the gun units, the African Union Border Program, and all the respective AU organs that we work with. Asante. Sorry, brother. Which is?
For the performance, let us celebrate our president for that powerful speech, a very inspiring speech.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Can you hear me? I mean, we don't have amplifications. Yeah, but I don't have a strap. Well, you know what? We've all been sitting for a long time. Can we all just get out and come forward a little bit? Get off your tables, get off your phones. Just be around here and gather around. No. Come around, come around. Pick your chairs, move closer. That's too much. I want to put the mics. Okay, you want to switch? Okay. Yes. Come in. I see some undecided ones and some on your phone. Come on, decide. You come closer. You take a chair, you sit close, we make a song. So this song is called Beautiful People. And for me, it's important for us to celebrate our presence here, also to celebrate what we're talking about. We're talking about who we are as a people. We are God's gifts. And I feel that I was searching in my mind, okay, what song am I really going to play? And I was like, okay, I'm not playing a song that is about the struggle because we've had all the conversations today. So this should be a song that celebrates who we are, the beauty of our continent, the beauty of our identity, and the beauty of the idea that we are working on right now to reinvigorate. It's already in the mind of our continent. So, you can tap, but don't oversing about me. All right? Okay. Whoa! All right, now let me hear you sing. Whoa! Whoa! Yeah! Yeah! Whoa! Yeah! I dedicate this song to you, my beautiful people. My beautiful people, come and sing along, yeah. Here I come with my love, oh beautiful people. My beautiful people, come and sing along, yeah. But there are many things we cannot hide. There are many bonds that can be undone. Just like our bone, yeah. Everything in life is a sacrifice, but I know it was worth the price. So I did this for you. I dedicate this song to you, my beautiful people, my beautiful Africa. Come and sing along, yeah. Here I la 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 la. Let me hear you sing with me now. La 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 la. From every corner we'll be trying, from every country we'll be singing, and you know I did this for you. You know that music is a language to free us from every bondage. So I sacrifice for you. Oh, Africa, I dedicate this song to you, my beautiful people. My beautiful people, come and sing along, yeah. Now we can all sing this. I dedicate this song to you, my beautiful people. My beautiful people, come and sing along, yeah. All together now we say, my beautiful people. My beautiful people, come and sing along, yeah. For a borderless Africa, my beautiful people. My beautiful people, come and sing along, yeah. This is a song for unity, my beautiful people. My beautiful people, come and sing along, yeah. One more time, we're gonna sing together. We sing la 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 la. Louder now, let me hear you say la 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 la. La 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 la. Now let my brother sing with me.
I'm a believer, I'm an African, I'm a proud African, I'm an African, you're an African, we're Africans, we're Africans, you're an African, I'm an African, yeah, I'm a believer, you're a believer. I believe in the world that is Africa. La 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 la.
So now we go. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Forever godless Africa we sing. La 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 la. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. La 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, my beautiful people, my beautiful people, we sing together.
Everybody, la 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 la.
La 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 la. La 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 la.
La 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 la. Yeah.
La 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 la. La 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 la. That's our mantra. Go and make that happen. God bless us all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Now we're about, and you know, la 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 la. It's a language we can all speak. It's a borderless language. All right. Thank you, my sister. Yeah. Thank you. Yes. Yeah, we do it with all my crew. I'm gonna be in trouble in Ghana. They take photos so that they go flex in Ghana.
What's your name? And if you change one thing in Africa, what would it be and why?
My name is Rocky.